Closing is always easy when you're in Cardone U. We role play with Grant Cardone's team. They know just what to do. They're always there to support us. We couldn't ask for more. On our way in the right direction, we found what we're looking for. In FLC, in FLC. Closing is better with appointment setters. You'd better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, and that you can quote me in FLC. We welcome the newbies gladly. We know there's so much to learn. We've got your back for a lifetime. There's no need for concern. Just look at the world around you. There's deals to close everywhere. And if you face an objection, what would Jabari say? In FLC, in FLC, objections are easy. If you don't believe me, I have to agree. We can role play at any time. To disagree, that is a crime. We're practicing to get the cha-chings in FLC. In FLC. Since we started training, our leads ain't complaining. They're so happy. We get to role play with Big Brother Dave. We've got Coach Sean, the best coach ever born in FLC. All of our closers, they keep their composure. 10X is the goal, Uncle G, well he knows. We've got the spirit, and you've got to hear it. We're FLC.
Hello. Welcome back. That was so much fun. I've never actually done that before. Sat in my chair. Welcome back to another Sunday live hangout with Misty. Nope. Misty.
We choose names.
I am now Misty. I would love to be Misty. Welcome back. Today's topic, we're talking about having the right mindset. We're talking about affirmations. We're talking about goals, and all this good stuff. So important, and I feel like a lot of times overlooked in business. So I wanted to start off by asking you, Misty, why do you think having some affirmations or like clear goals that you go back to is so important?
Well, the affirmations, I struggle with negativity all the time. In fact, kind of a stupid joke. I was at my sister's house one day, and we were sitting on our couch just hanging out. And I asked her, I said, so what blood type are you? She goes, I'm O positive. And I'm like, really? I'm O negative. She goes, okay. And then we were talking about something else. She says, yeah, but you got to remain positive. I just looked at her and said, yeah, but that's kind of hard when negativity runs in my blood. She just goes, that's a nice one. So I struggle with negativity a lot, not just my blood type, but, on an everyday basis, I do. And I find that the affirmations really, really help me to stay out of depression, helps raise my vibration, and I can have a better day and look forward to, I want to say like a better outcome. And, I can look forward to accomplishing more and doing more and being more active. And when you're more positive and you have that high vibrations and you're doing your affirmations and you have to meditate too every once in a while. It's good to just stop and take a breath, kind of shut down everything and kind of reboot, right? Yeah. And it's when you do that, you're taking care of your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health. And then people want to be around you more. You know what I mean? It's like, and then when you have that and you're in that zone, you're more likely to go out and start just nailing all your goals
Yeah.
and start conquering those things and just like, okay, that's done. Let's set another one. Let's go higher. Let's do, So I think they're really important because it's for me, it goes back to mentality. I
Yeah.
have to be in a positive mindset in order to be able to function.
Yeah.
And for my mental and spiritual health, I just, especially emotional, because I'm a very emotional person. So why do you think they're important?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. And it very much is like you were saying, it's like a vibe thing, isn't it? It can instantly, so affirmations, it can instantly change your vibe, and change your mindset. And a little side note, Misty, I've been meaning to say this to you all week. I read the little, I don't want to say too much because it's thing, but I read what you sent me and it's so good. I read through it and it was like, just had a big smile on my face. So, yeah, Misty's got so many good.
You can
So,
say it. I just have to still do the funnel
okay,
before I can put it out there.
okay, I didn't know how like hush hush it was, but yeah, Misty's written this amazing book with all these amazing affirmations, and even just reading through them, like not even saying them out loud, it makes me feel better. Um, so it's such a quick and easy way to change your mindset and change your vibe, and I feel like the vibe is such a big thing. When I'm feeling a bit off, I really don't perform as well as I could, especially making cold calls for FLC. I need my vibe to be up. And as far as having some goals, I think I just pause a little bit?
Yeah, but you're okay. I don't think
Okay.
you were
Oh
saying
no.
anything. I don't think you were saying anything. It's like you stopped to think and then you continued on with your thoughts. So
Okay, good. I'm praying for the Wi-Fi this time. But having some clear goals, I've been thinking about that recently a lot, actually. I feel like it's very important. And it also helps me to really change my mindset and my vibe and going back to my why. So having these goals is great, but going back to my like why I want to achieve these goals really helps me as well. And that kind of leads me, he's so cute. I mean, like trying to not get distracted, but I can't.
no, me too. Sorry.
Oh no, it's good. It's good. That leads me on to another little thing I want to talk about is that so we're working with Coach David. Every Thursday we have a call and it's amazing, and he's kind of really highlighted the act of writing down your goals every day, which I know FLC, like the whole team, is trying to do, and I'm trying to do. Sometimes I miss a few days, but that's really helped me visualize them more. So I write down affirmations that he's given us, which I can share later, and then I write down my goals, and it just like gets me in this good vibe, which is so important. I feel like in business, especially.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the reason why I wrote the book was basically to help give people ideas of affirmations, things that I've heard, I've said, I hear Master talk about, and just to kind of give other people ideas, and then for people to really stop and think, okay, well, this, like some of those affirmations could be things you're grateful for, or something else, but it's like trying to take it and not put it in a future sense, but in a now, like present sense, or not put it like in past tense, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You want it to be present. You want to, when you're doing your affirmations, you want to be like, I am. Master once said on one of his YouTube videos that there's nothing stronger than I am.
Yeah.
Or I have.
Yeah.
You don't want to do I am going to. No, it's I am. Say like I am a multimillionaire. Not I am not going Not, you don't want to say, I'm going to be a multimillionaire, like future sense.
I think that
You want to do now, present tense.
tomorrow never comes kind of thing.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
reason why they call it the present. It's a gift.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hear that a lot, but every time I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, no, it's so true. 'Cause for example, I'll read out the few affirmations that Coach David has given us as a team. And I feel this is obviously comes straight from Coach G, Grant Cardone, Uncle G, not Uncle G, Grant Cardone himself, which need I say more? No. So I show up, I live every day at 100%. I'm focused on my dreams. I change my attitudes with my thoughts and words. I am personal growth, and the more I learn, the more I earn. I take responsibility for all results. I keep moving forward. I have a prosperity attitude. I'm consistent, and I go for failure. Which write those down. if you're watching the replay, you can pause. But notice how it's all the present. It's now, and you choose to be these things now, which is so overlooked but so important, like you were saying.
Yeah, because you don't want to do it like future sense, because then, like you said, tomorrow never comes. So if you're going to make something like I will be a multimillionaire, then you're leaving that doubt in there, and you don't want that doubt. You want to absolutely know with
Yeah.
every fiber of your being, just absolutely know that you are a multimillionaire. And start living that way. Start treating yourself, as they say, a VIP, and you don't have to go out and start spending millions of dollars to do that. There are ways of doing it without running out there and spending millions of dollars. Just don't deprive yourself of something. Like say you're going grocery shopping and you have a limited, this is the analogy that Master used one time. You're going grocery shopping, and instead of you have a limited amount of money, say like you have $10, and you try to buy as much as you can with that $10, right? But there's name brands that you really like, and then there's knockoff brands that aren't as good and you really don't like that well. Well, instead of settling for the knockoff brand you don't like, get the name brand you like. There's more than enough money out there in the world for everybody. We don't have to settle for less. So treating yourself as VIP is very important.
Yeah, that also switches your mindset from scarcity to, like what was in there, prosperity. And that's something that I think about every time I go shopping, and every time I'm with my dad is one he loves like getting the bargain, getting the deal, and that's how I've grown up, always looking for like the best deal, and if it means I have to get something that's not actually what I wanted, or a knockoff version or whatever, to do that. But ever since I heard that, and I think I also heard it from Master, it's every time I go into a shop now, I'm like, no, get the thing you want, because you know that you can. And it's really trained me to be like that, be like, oh, it doesn't matter if something costs a lot more than I expected. I used to be like, I have to really stop and be like, no, Josie, like think about it. But now it's so quick. I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's fine. Da, da, da. And I just have this mindset that I have enough money to go around the world 500 times. And yeah, it's really helpful. So it becomes muscle memory as well, all these things.
Do you get the funny looks when you do that? Do you get the funny looks from people you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get them all the time. People are like, you can't afford that. Why are you doing that? Because I deserve it.
Well, exactly.
I want it and I deserve it.
Exactly. Especially being friends with like uni age, university age people there. They're like, why on earth would you do that? It's like, let me
Yeah.
do this. I need to do this. So yeah, definitely I do.
I just remind people I don't think the way you do. I don't think the way other people do. I think differently.
Yeah.
I know that whether anybody else believes in God or a higher power or whatever, I know I've always been taken care of. I've always had the necessities. I've always had what I wanted. So why am I going to start depriving myself of something when I know I can have it?
Mm.
You know what I mean? It takes knowing you can have something, knowing you can do it,
Yeah.
allowing yourself to have it, and the rest of that just left.
Yeah, well, we got 16 minutes in this time.
Yeah. Getting a little better every time.
Oh, that's funny. So I'll just interrupt me if you remember, yeah? It's it is so true and it's so important. And at first it can seem a little bit awkward to if you really feel like you're not in that position, let's say to be able to just buy whatever without even looking at the price. Which I don't. I do look at the price still, but it can feel awkward and hard to switch it into like, oh no, like it's fine. But it really does get easier. And I remember when I first started saying like, oh, everything will be okay. Like, oh, it'll work itself out. I kind of said it as a joke to start with, but now I say it in real, like for real. If something goes slightly wrong, I'm like, oh, like something will work itself out, and it always does. I got stuck in Brazil by myself, and I speak the language, but not enough really to get me unlost. So I was stuck in this airport for 24 hours without like a phone. I couldn't call my mum, and I just remember believing so much that everything will work itself out, like something will work itself out, that I wasn't that stressed or scared. I was just like, yeah, like adventure.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You're an adventure. Enjoy
Well,
it.
exactly. My mum was very stressed. Bless her. She was when I finally called her back. She was in tears. But I had trained myself so much by just saying these things every day over and over, and it can start out as a joke. Was my point? It can start out. So your brain doesn't really know the difference. That everything was okay, and I believed it, so it was.
Yeah, it's having the faith. That's the other word I was looking for is faith. Having the
Hey.
faith and knowing that everything's gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
And I want to point out that when what you said about always always wanting a bargain when you're going
Mm.
shopping or looking at something, you're looking at the price and looking for the bargain. Just because you're looking for the bargain does not mean you have to settle for less than what you want.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because you can still look for a bargain and get exactly what you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to settle for something like a knockoff brand or something less than what you're wanting just to be able to
Yeah.
have it. Even
Yeah.
the multimillionaires do that. They look for bargains, but they
Yeah.
look for the bargains with what the exact product they're wanting. They don't limit themselves to less, to thinking, oh, I can't afford this, or this is just too much, or it's too extravagant.
Yeah.
No, just go for it. And like they say, you only live once, so why not to treat yourself like VIP? You deserve it. Look how far you've survived, how far you've come.
Mm.
You're a fighter, you're a survivor. Allow yourself to have what you want.
Nice.
Believe it. Have faith in that.
Mm. Yeah. It's so powerful, and I know that I overlooked it myself for a while, just how powerful like having this mindset or doing affirmations and having clear goals was. But especially ever since I joined FLC, I've seen the power in it. And actually, what you were saying reminded me of this thing I saw from Grant Cardone, which he is rich, wealthy. I think he's worth what, like 600. I want to say billion, but it might be million. I know that's a big difference.
I think it's million.
Yeah.
His goal is to be a billionaire, a multi-billionaire.
Okay, so like 600 million, which he's obviously worked very, very hard for. But even he was telling a story about his wife that wanted to buy this dress when they were like starting to really make it big. And I'm guessing it was not the cheapest dress. And he was saying to her, like, no, like keep your visions forward. Like we can't get distracted on these things. And she was saying like, oh, why? We're doing so well now. And I forgot the point of this story, but it had a point. And he, oh, you said it just because you can look for bargains doesn't mean
You can't have what you want.
yeah. There was a point of this story, but he was telling her, we don't need that. Like we need to keep going forward. So even he, in his millions and millions and millions, doesn't, get stuff just because he can. So there is that as well. We're not saying go out and buy everything because you're,
Yeah, no, he says that what you want to do is multiply your income, but still live as if you're broke. So what you should be doing is when your income's coming in, take a huge portion of that and be reinvesting that into your businesses and different businesses. And then you can, at some point you're like, okay, that $50,000 dress, that's pocket change. Okay, no worries. It's not a necessity, but he's like, let's focus on building first and then everything else will fall into place.
Yeah. We did that with Coach Sean, right? And it was, you want to get to the point where you can save 40%. Was it 40?
40.
40% of what
gross.
you earn. Yeah.
The gross before taxes and everything. That was actually in the Cardone training videos. I was sitting there trying to figure it out. Okay, that leaves me this much money to live off of a month. Can I do that?
Yeah.
We've got rent and I've got this and I've got this. And I thought, if I pay off these debts that I have, I've got like 3 personal loans. If I can get those paid off, I can totally do that.
Nice. Yeah.
So I'm like,
yeah,
next few months, I'm going to completely immerse myself into FLC and get there. So
yeah, and that's the other thing that Misty and I were just talking before we went live, that FLC has some massive goals, and I was also talking to Jabaria earlier, about how excited I am for where this is gonna take us, and that's the reason I'm saying that is that it's so good to have these goals and have 10x goals. Whatever goals you have, make them bigger. Get excited about it, because that's something else that will really help you narrow down what affirmations you want to write down, or what goals you want to write down, and the mindset it will give you. It really has changed my life, writing down these goals. And at first it felt like nothing, but now it makes me so subconsciously excited that I'm just buzzing like around all day, and I'm like, I love like doing this. So it's so powerful. Write your goals down. I thought it was BS at first, but yeah.
It's the woo-woo stuff. We love the woo-woo stuff.
Yeah, we do. And
go ahead.
Just quickly, I just remembered that Maria said about Seb when she stayed with Seb, that he walks around and just says to himself like cute little things like, oh, I love my job, like I'm so excited for the day, I can't wait to start working, and apparently he doesn't even realize he does it anymore, and he is such a good vibe all the time, so it works.
Yeah, it does. You know what I do is I picture almost, okay, when if you go in with Master and you're going through the guided meditation, and he has you go into your third eye and you're in the white space, and you're walking, doing that stuff. I've gotten to where I picture, kind of dorky, but for me it works. I picture this ginormous heart, glowing heart, and it's got a door on it. And every time I'm in a negative space, I picture myself opening that door and everything inside is like black, just dark. And I go in and I start using, why I think it this way, I don't know. I could use a leaf blower, whatever. But instead I think of one of those old, those really old witch brooms. I'm using one of those and I'm sweeping out all these black leaves. And I just get all of that black and negativity out. And then I just fill it with love and light and positivity. And then I can go out and conquer everything in the world. And like say my affirmations all the time. That's like when I tell you, I'm sitting here saying, like the little engine that could, I think I can, I think I can. Instead of saying I think I can, where it leaves some doubt, I always say, I know I can, I know I can, I know I can, because I'm capable of doing anything I want to. I just have to get in the right mindset and go for it. And if I don't know how, figure it out on the way.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's that's the thing. It's you start off, it can start off like you don't not believing something. And sorry, my response was lagged because my my housemate came home, so the Wi-Fi went a bit weird.
You're okay.
So that's why I was like panicking. You can start off, even like I said earlier, like a joke, or you don't have to fully believe it at first, and that's the whole point of doing it every day. You will start to believe it. So I really like that, actually. And it's made me miss doing his meditations. So I'm going to do that.
I know I've been missing him a lot lately too. I keep thinking I need to get back into that because I kind of pulled away and I need to get back into it. I felt so much better doing all that stuff.
No, same.
Yeah, you're lagging now.
Yeah. Oh, it's because
you're okay.
Okay, I've hacked it when because just now I was home alone and now someone's come home, stolen my Wi-Fi. But yeah, no, it's so true. I need to make time to do that, actually. To do that.
Yeah, some people that we've talked to, in fact, one person I've talked to, she's making a lot more time for that. And it was kind of like, I don't want to say I took it wrong. I mean, I understand why you want to do that. You want to make meditation and all that stuff a priority. It is a priority. It is meant for, you really need that in order to be able to function in especially in today's world, how everything is so negative and so down. You have to have that positivity and being able to ground yourself and reboot your mind and your spirituality and refocus things so you can go out there and give all of yourself to everything. So I get that. I understand that is a priority. And for me, because I've been in such a negative place lately, I automatically went back to, why is everybody making everything else a priority? Isn't this supposed to be a priority too? Isn't this important? And I really shouldn't be thinking that way because it's not. Everything is a priority, and it's not just because it's a priority to me doesn't mean that it needs to be for somebody else. Or maybe it is for them, but they can't do it at the time we can. You know what I mean? So it's obviously me thinking negatively and wrong. And like I said, I struggle with it on a daily basis, but being aware of that, now I can go forward and change it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's okay. It's natural to have negative thoughts still, but it's being able to catch that. This is something else that Coach David did with us. You have a negative thought, you catch it. If you can, you write it down, and then you crumple it up and you throw it away. Obviously, maybe don't do that if you're in public, but
you really have to go and pick it up and throw it in the trash. Just don't let it.
Yeah, maybe you might hit someone on the head. So maybe visualize that. You pick it, you write it down, you chuck it away, because it's natural. Even I'm sure the top guys still have negative thoughts, but it's being able to say to yourself, no, this is just a thought, it's not reality. And I feel like that's also why it's so important to write down these positive things every day, really drill it, and that will become more and more subconscious, and the negative thoughts will not completely go away, but hopefully die down.
Yeah. Well, if they're the multimillionaires and the billionaires are human, they should be having negative thoughts.
Exactly.
It's just, we have to take a page out of their book and work through it, ignore it.
1 second. Yeah. Right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree. And like shit happens.
It does all the time.
So, okay. So I think my Wi-Fi is going.
Yeah. Did you need to get off? Did you need to go?
I need to call. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'll be there in 1 second. Yeah, I need to call my family in Canada.
Okay, awesome. Then we'll just cut it short today.
Yeah, half an hour today. We'll be back 45 minutes. Next week for uni house. It's
no worries.
Yeah.
Hopefully next week we can get either Seb or Rajesh or somebody else on.
Yes.
And
we'll get some more of the team on. So look forward to that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. All right.
So
thank you so much.
We're going to this song.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Closing is always easy when you're in Cardone U. We role play with Grant Cardone's team. They know just what to do. They're always there to support us. We couldn't ask for more. On our way in the right direction, we found what we're looking for. In FLC, closing is better with appointment setters. You'd better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, and that you can quote me in FLC. We welcome the newbies gladly. We know there's so much to learn. We've got your back for a lifetime. There's no need for concern. Just look at the world around you. There's deals to close everywhere. And if you face an objection, what would Jabari say? In FLC, objections are easy. If you don't believe me, I have to agree. We can role play at any time. To disagree, that is a crime. We're practicing to get the cha-chings in FLC. Since we started training, our leads ain't complaining. They're so happy. We get to role play with Big Brother Dave. We've got Coach Sean, the best coach ever born in FLC. All of our closers, they keep their composure. 10x is the goal, Uncle G, well he knows. We've got the spirit, and you've got to hear it. We're FLC.